Good morning, this is Jack from GaussChart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Wednesday, the 30th of September. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share a technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts, and we're not here to issue trading signals. Right. We have, well, I was talking about yesterday morning about the possible IHS that might be forming here. We've got a nice looking right shoulder here, and we may well now be returning to test the neckline. If we do break up from that, that would supersede this double bottom here and give us a higher target, which would be in approximately the 35.30 area, so that would be getting pretty close to a retest of the all-time high, and we could see that. I'm still favoring a fail, but well, we'll watch that. We'll get to the inflection point, and the decision will be made. In terms of the short term, NQ made the full target on the sell signal. Haven't really got an alternate pattern set up there. We've got the existing double bottom, which would have a target in about the 11,800 to 825 area. RTY, we've got a sell signal here that's pretty much reached the possible near miss target. Looks like a consolidation and may well be breaking up to retest that high. YM made the sell signal target. Got back to the test the week pivot, is finding support there, and may well be returning to the high as well. DAX, week 6 minute sell signal fixed and reached the possible near miss target. Looks like a flag, and may well be returning to retest the high. ESTX, we didn't have a signal there. If we had, then would have made target pretty much, tested the weekly pivot, more or less, and again, maybe retesting the high. I think we may well retest the 33.60 high today. That's still in the area for the SPX daily middle band, and we will see what happens there. But I think we've got strong bearish stats today. Now, today is the last day of the month. And the stats for today are run at about 67% bearish. So that is a strong lean to the downside. We're up against resistance, which is the daily middle band that closed yesterday on SPX in the 33.65 area. So if we get up to retest the high, the overnight high at ES at 33.62, we will be slightly over that, and that is the inflection point today. I'm leaning towards seeing that, though we don't absolutely have to, and then I'm leaning towards the decision being made there. Let's say still 70% leaning towards the downside on the overall setup. Actually, I'd probably cut that to 65 because we've made some sell signal targets. Probably still going to fail there, but there is the possibility that we'll break up, and we will see. Okay, looking at ES, we haven't made the buy signal target on SPX actually, just to mention, and we need to go higher to get there. ES, we don't have the buy signal there. We've got to the daily middle band currently in the 33.62 area, and effectively that has already had a test at that overnight high. On the 60-minute chart, sorry, on the 5DMA chart, we're on day 3 of the 5DMA 3-day rule. We would need really a close here on SPX in the 32.90 area or less, and that's in the 32.80 area on ES. So we would need a visible break back below the 5DMA, which is here. If we're going to do that, we've certainly got the stats to do it, we've got the resistance to do it. The question is it actually going to do it? That we will have to find out today, and we will see. We've still got a daily buy signal open on the NDX as well. That hasn't made target, and again, we are testing the daily middle band there. Okay, let's have a look at other instruments. DAX has back tested the weekly pivot, not converted it to resistance yet. We could be failing here. The RSI 14 buy signal on US dollar has made the possible near miss target. Watching to see what happens here. We do have a 60-minute buy signal, which is now fixed overnight. ZB still kicking around, doing very little around the weekly pivot and monthly pivot. Those have been holding a support so far, but it's not been encouraging for a move up so far. We could see a big reversal on equities here, and maybe that'll shake ZB out of this range that it's been trading in. But so far, I would have expected to see it reach the 179 area on the basis of the equity action we've seen so far, and that hasn't happened. This may be consolidating before a move down, and that could be a match with a breakup on equities. CL, no current divergence. Looks like a flag, probably is a flag. Bull flag setting up a retest of this high here in the 42 area. NG, I've got a 60-minute buy signal brewing and pretty close to fixing. And we may well be reversing back up here. Could this be a flag from the high? It's a bit oversized, but maybe. And could this be the IHS right shoulder that I was talking about? It's a bit undersized, but maybe. But watching it, certainly we were starting that in the right area, watching to see how far this 60-minute buy signal gets. GC made the buy signal target, consolidating around the weekly pivot. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see this go higher, but it depends on which way the DX is going to break. SI. This could be an IHS forming. During the trend line, though, it's not great. I've got a 60-minute sell signal, which is fixed now here. Sorry, no, it's not actually still growing. I've got trend line support at 23.5, and there's nothing really much happening on the bear side until that breaks. HG, this still looks like a larger flag forming. So normally that would result in a retest of this low. We'll see whether it does. 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. EURUSD, 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Testing the weekly pivot. Depends what happens on DX, but certainly there's a potential setup for a fail here. GBP USD is suggesting higher on GBP USD. So if we see a fail on DX here, that would be a good match for that. This looks very much like a bull flag forming. USD JPY has made it to the IHS target area, so I'm writing that off as a pattern. I mean, maybe a little higher, but there's not much in it. We're still on a weak 60-minute sell signal, but then we have been for most of this move up, so I'm not taking a lot of notice of that. USD CAD, very nice looking potential level top here. If DX turns down, then this could make target, and I'd be looking for a test of this rising support currently in the 1.324 area. Australian dollar, broken up. We've got an open double bottom target in the 71.75 area, might well make target. NZUSD looks like a flag forming, bear flag forming so far. Weak 6-minute sell signal fixed. KC, nice looking double bottom, and I've got a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing on the daily. This may well play out to the upside. A sustained break over here would be looking for the 1.2125 area approximately. SB. SB likely to be on the way back to this high. We're on a weak 60-minute buy signal now. Needs to obviously get back over and convert weekly pivot and monthly pivot, although monthly pivot obviously is a lame duck monthly pivot only for today. CC. CC testing the monthly pivot as support, watching to see what happens there. Nice looking double top here, which could still play out. ZW, nice looking potential double top here too. More doubtful about that playing out, but there are some indications of bearishness on corn where we are finishing off a potential head and shoulder pattern. It's not a bad one. And if we see a sustained break below the 360 area, then we can see a target in the 340 to 342 area, and that could take all the rest of the grains down with it. Soy still looks like a bull flag forming, fairly narrow, not particularly well formed, but nonetheless looks like a bull flag. Probably going to result in a retest of the high. Cotton, this again looks like a flag forming. So there is a potential larger topping pattern here, but it's not been delivering. This little double bottom here failed, and we've got the retest to the low. There's not much indication it's going to go lower, and it's bounced a lot since then. Lumber, not much to say here. No current positive divergence. Signals been playing out when they've delivered, but we haven't got one here. Live cattle is likely breaking back up towards the high. Looks good. Lean hogs wondering about a retest of this rising support trend line in the 60.625 area. Okay, what questions we got today, guys? What would be a typical target on a flag once it breaks the previous high, always? So if this is a bull flag forming on ES and has broken up, then the target would be the retest this high here at 35.75, and this may be a flag which is broken up. High retests and low retests are not at all unusual. I mean, actually, the classic one is the just to show you, and this took ages to form, but you know, years ago I remember saying to Stan, I think 2012 or something, or 2013, that you should never ever underestimate the chances of a retest, which could sometimes just come out of a wild left field and deliver it. And actually, a classic example of that was this high retest. I remember we were talking about this in the pre-markets, but this was a wild move. Went up to the retest, rejected, but this was a classic example of one which it was very hard to call seeing as coming, but it's just we weren't going down, and the longer we didn't go down, the more likely it was we were going to do this retest. This was a classic example here. And you can see it gets just above the high and then fails. But this happens pretty regularly. I tend to always bear in mind the possibility of a retest just because they do happen so often. All right, any more questions, guys? No, in that case, that's a wrap. Now, what I would love to see today is a move up to the resistance area and a nice topping setup and then a hard fail. Of course, we don't have to retest that off topping area, and if we do get up there, we could break up. I'm leaning towards the downside, but we could break up. If we do break up, then if we can consolidate over action over the 3400 area, then the obvious target would be the retest of the all-time high. And I'd be leaning towards seeing that. And we do, as I said, get that an awful lot of the time. And particularly on SPX, it's very, very strong. Low retests, high retests. So we'll see how that goes today. I'm leaning towards seeing that move up, and if we get there, I'll be watching very, very carefully for a move, and I'll be calling it. All right, cheers, guys. I'll catch you later.